From volleyball to basketball, we move to Mr. Ray Washington, and a man who still ranks in the top 10 for all-time assists and steals in the Southland Conference. A great point guard is always complimenting you on the court. They play to your strengths and keep you away from your weaknesses. In May of 1990, Ricky Broussard was named the head coach of Nicholls State University in their men's basketball program. There are no senior high school prospects available in May. Everybody is signed. But Ricky recalled seeing a kid from Pineville, Louisiana, orchestrate a state tournament upset over an undefeated Morgan City team. Why was Ray Washington still available? It didn't make any sense unless you knew Ray. He had already met the love of his life, and his future wife had an opportunity to attend Texas A&M or LSU. Ray had already decided that if she chose A&M, he would accept an offer from the University of Houston and be close to his wife. If it was LSU, he had offers from a couple schools in northern Louisiana and would make it work. Then Coach Broussard gave him a call. In an amazing twist of fate, Charisse decided to attend LSU, and in June of 1990, Coach Broussard had his first signee at Nicholls. It had been a whirlwind 2 years for Ray. In his junior season of high school, he was dead set on attending college, but an African American from Pineville High School had never received a college scholarship. Ray signed up to become a National Guardsman. Tuition assistance, GI Bill, it made sense. As a freshman at Nicholls, Ray would report for weekend drills. They wouldn't interfere with his basketball. Coach Broussard had a young team that first year, and they did take their lumps, but there were flashes of brilliance, and they had a true freshman point guard they knew could be pretty good. Colonels are 9 games in to the 1991 season, and they upset North Texas 112-106 in Denton. Next up, the University of New Orleans. Ray made the trip back to Louisiana, but he didn't play against UNO. In fact, Ray wouldn't play again in the 1991 season. When the Colonels were in Texas, Ray received a call from the Louisiana National Guard. Report to duty, soldier. The Gulf War was underway, and it was all hands on deck for Operation Desert Storm. Ray drove to Alexandria and boarded the first of how many flights to Kuwait City? A 7,500-mile flight, and the journey that took him from Louisiana to the Middle East. On January 17, 1991, Nicholls and Southeastern met at Stouffer Gymnasium for a 7 p.m. tip. 7,000 miles away, the United States led coalition forces into Iraq. The military was ready to respond to Saddam Hussein's invasion and annexation of Kuwait. Ray Washington now found himself in the Middle East building airstrips and roads at strategic locations throughout Iraq. You had Scud missiles landing all over the place, and if a tank or transport vehicle was blown up, the National Guard had to retrieve it. On February 25, 1991, Colonel Basketball was wrapping up their season 57 miles away from Pineville in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Later that week, Iraq retreated in defeat, combat operations were over, and Ray was on his way back to Thibodaux to redo his freshman season. Coach Broussard had no idea what to expect when Ray returned to campus. Now, 1991-1992 wasn't just a normal year for this basketball program. It was the first year as a member of the Southland Conference. Ricky's a little nervous. He hasn't seen Ray in 6 months. Calls a meeting, no idea what to expect. And then Ray walks in. Entering is this 19-year-old man who is fit, ripped, confident, hungry, and ready to ball. The previous season, Nicholls went 3-25. During the following 4 years with Ray Washington at point guard, Colonel Basketball went 72-40. Gerard King, Reggie Jackson, Terrell Castle, Derek Watts, Keldrick Porter, and Keith Richard. This was a squad. In Ray's junior and senior season, they went 43-15, won the Southland Conference championship, and played the University of Virginia in the NCAA Tournament. Nicholls was averaging 90 points per game, and by the time Ray's career was over, he totaled over 500 assists and over 200 steals. A world-class point guard knows where everyone is at and what the collective objective is. Ray took care of his people. In high school, he knew Alma Sharice was his future wife and bet everything on it. We lost Sharice in 2012, but Ray, her decision to attend LSU clinched your Colonel commitment, and we're indebted to her. We're indebted to the sacrifices you've made, and we will always remember your role in taking this basketball program to its highest of highs. Ladies and gentlemen, one of America's finest, Mr. Ray Washington.
Well, you know, I appreciate that introduction that you just gave. Let me put this down. I'm not as tall as everybody. I want to thank everyone for coming, my family, my friends. I want to thank Nicholls State for giving me this honor. It's awesome. I would like to, it's a momentous occasion. I'm ecstatic to be inducted to the Nicholls State Hall of Fame. It's a surreal moment for me. It's a privilege to be here. All the other inductees, I congratulate you. It's awesome to hear your stories. I would like to thank God for giving me the gifts and talents to be able to do the things that I did to get to this point in my life. To my family, to my family. My pop's over here. God. I apologize. My mother is not here with me. She's my #1 fan. I lost her some years ago. And it's hard to talk, to think about her. Sorry. It's hard to think about my mom and my biggest fan and to do things or come up here and talk about something. But I still have my father and the rest of my family that's been here to support me throughout my time in my career at Nicholls State, through high school and everything. I thank you guys for coming. I thank my kids, Brianna and Ray. Thank you guys for coming. I love you guys with all my heart. I really didn't want to cry up at that. Really didn't. But I'm going to keep it short. I just want to say, to my coaches that helped me while I was there. That's one good bright spot. I always knew I could be the coach. So, Coach Blaine, it was good to beat up on you while you was here and helping me, learn some more of the game. But in school and everything, high school, college, I learned a lot, and it all started with my brothers. Playing against them, giving me that competitive edge that I needed to be able to do what I did. And I just want to thank everybody. Thank Nicholls State, everyone. I appreciate it.